Well, let me hasten to conclude because I got to tell you, I brought a gift for you. I have a gift in the form of a young man. He never served in Iraq or Afghanistan, but he's my leading warrior in the war on terror, the terror of drugs. He's a young hero to me. When he came to me, his parents pushed him up to me in a wheelchair. He was still bleeding. They said, would you mentor him? I said, sure. Because I figured 6 weeks from now, he's dead. But he's still here. And you're going to meet one of the most profound, wonderful young men in America who's speaking in schools all over this country. Would you welcome, for the few minutes we have left, would you welcome BradHearon? Come out here, Bradley. You got it?
FFA, I am so honored to be here today. Oh my goodness, it is just so awesome to be in a room with so many great young Americans sitting here right now. I don't have very much time, but I just want to talk to you all about choices for a little bit. Choices have consequence, young people. I made horrible choices in my life as I was growing up. As I was young and I was growing up on a farm in southwest Kansas, we have a 10,000-acre farm in southwest Kansas, irrigated corn and wheat. Last fall, we cut 1,365,000 bushels of corn. That's a lot of Frosted Flakes, guys. Whenever I was in 3rd grade, my dad told me we were going to be moving from a small town in liberal Kansas to Houston, Texas. We moved 700 or 800 miles down to Houston, and we moved to the NASA community where Johnson Space Center is. Whenever we got down there, needless to say, young people, I didn't fit in. There's a coined phrase out there that says this. It says, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. I made a horrible choice in friends. See, here I was, a young farm boy from Kansas who was into John Deere tractors and John Deere combines. These kids that I went and met in Houston, they were into Lexuses and Mercedes. I had no idea what a Lexus or a Mercedes even was. True story. My buddy walked up to me one day and he says, Brad, have you seen that new LS 400 Lexus? And I looked at him and I said, what's that, some new type of tractor? See, where I came from, everything was JD 4630, JD 4850. That stands for John Deere 4630, John Deere 4850. LS 400 had the right amount of letters and the right amount of numbers. It must have been a tractor, right? Wrong. I didn't fit in, so I started to walk away from everything that I knew to be right and true to try to fit in with other people, to try to run around with this crowd. By the time I was in 7th grade, I had started to smoke marijuana and drink alcohol just to try to fit in life, guys. It's not who I was. Do you know that the choices that I made when I was in 7th and 8th grade are still the exact same things that I have to deal with each and every day when I wake up today? The choices we make right now, the choices that you make right now in your life are going to be the things that define you, young people. Make the right choices. I heard a saying the other day that said that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you handle it. I think that we need to take that 90% seriously and handle it right the first time and make the right choices, don't you? When I was in 9th grade, we moved up from Houston, Texas to the panhandle of Texas. We moved 782 miles, and we were still in the state of Texas, guys. That's a big state. We moved up to a little small town, and I told a young lady that I would shout out to Booker, Texas, because we moved from Houston, Texas to the panhandle to Booker, Texas. No, I didn't say Booger, Texas. I said Booker, Texas. It might as well be Booger because it's not much bigger than that. And as I got to Booker, I started to portray myself as somebody who I wasn't. And as I portrayed myself as that, it ended me up to where I was starting to use methamphetamines, the harder drugs. I didn't think that I would ever get there, young people. I didn't think by the age of 19 that I would be shoving a needle in my arm and shooting up drugs. But because of choices that I made and the choices to smoke marijuana and drink the alcohol and everything, it wasn't hard to take that next step into the harder things. On January 7th, 2003, I was burned while manufacturing methamphetamines. That wasn't me, young people. I had started to change. Drugs had started to change me. They had turned me into somebody who I wasn't. I had once been a young man who cared about his family, who cared about his farm, who wanted to do right by people. And they changed me into somebody who was selfish, who didn't care about anybody but myself. But I'm here to tell you, young people, do not feel bad for me, because I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. I had less than 1/10 of 1% chance to live. I survived it. I survived the most dangerous and most addictive drug that's ever hit our nation. I survived it. And I can tell you I'm clean today. Hey guys, that's my time. I'm Brad Hearon. Look me up on Facebook and BradHearon.com. BradHearon. Look me up, guys. Bless you.
I love you, buddy. You did good, Brad. Awesome job. Brad Hearon. And I want to tell every one of you, I do not know a braver soldier than that man. Do you know what it takes for him to walk out here in front of tens of thousands of students and be at comfortable peace with every one of you, because inside of him, he's at peace with himself. He has taken that giant leap to make something positive out of something negative. That's what our story is all about.